Welcome. I am I'm Skychitravels. Janice Temple, your host for the Skychi Travel Guide, every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central on UBM Talk Live. We talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics. Join us every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. I was a flight attendant for 7 years at a regional carrier where I flew across the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas. I'm a travel agent now, so you can contact me at 905-515-2995. I would also like you to follow me on Facebook at the Skychi Travel Guide and subscribe to our blog, theskychitravelguide.com, to learn more about our travel experiences. And before we get started with the show, I have an announcement. My birthday celebration, my birthday's coming up. It'll be August 2nd, and it's going to be at Norman's Bistro if you're in Chicago at 1001 East 43rd Street. So mark your calendars. It's 6:30 p.m. until. And if you would like to subscribe to our newsletter, that information will be in there as well. So today we're going to start off with flight tales. And I invite you to call in to Urban Broadcast Media Talk Live with questions or comments about your own travel stories at 312-754-4333. And you can also comment at YouTube at the Skychi Travel Guide Live. So let's get started with flight tales. One of my daughters recently went on a trip to Punta Cana, to the Dominican Republic, and she asked my advice as she was booking the trip. So I know she likes to do Groupon and Living Social deals, and I advised her that those deals are really either for timeshare presentations or they are for I guess properties that are under construction, or they just need a lot of business. So really, when you're looking for cheap travel deals in vacation travel, you really get what you pay for. So they booked this resort in the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and she did her air separately on Expedia and car rental separately on Expedia. They get to the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and they get to the resort, and I don't think they were there an hour. Somebody comes to the door and he says, are you ready to come and get your gifts? And he was really saying it was an invitation to attend a timeshare presentation, but they were luring them with gifts. So they tried to blow the guy off. The guy stood out there and waited for hours until they came to the door. He just was not going to leave. So they go with the man to the timeshare presentation, and I think they might have gotten a T-shirt or something like that. Well, I don't know. Their gift wasn't really a gift. So they went through the presentation, and they didn't sign up for the timeshare. So at these timeshare presentations, they tend to show you beautiful rooms, great food. They show you how great the resort is, the all-inclusive resort is, and they entice you to sign up for the timeshare. And there's this system of wristbands, and those people who have signed up for the timeshare program have the highest colored wristband priority, and so that allows them to go to the best swimming pool, they get the best rooms, and they have the great buffets with the fabulous food. And there's usually like a fence, so you can see everybody enjoying themselves, and it's supposed to give you like pressure to sign up for the timeshare. So there was this fence that separated their pool from the other pool, which was the great, fantastic pool, and they could see everybody. And they could not cross it because their wristband was a certain color. So that was frustrating for them. And then not only that, they got sick from the cheap liquor that was served because those with the higher priority wristbands who have signed up for the prime share, they get the premium liquor. So I invite you to call in to Urban Broadcast Media with questions or comments, or to share your own travel story at 312-754-4333. And the whole trip was not lost on my daughter and her boyfriend. They did have fun. They went horseback riding. They went ATV riding. But on the way to the airport, this one really terrified me when she shared this with me. They had a flat tire on the way to the airport in the rental car, and there was no spare tire. So they are in Punta Cana, in the forest, in the rainforest, you know, and there's no one to call. There's no spare tire. He had no alternative but to drive for 1 hour on this flat tire all the way from the resort back to the airport, and they almost missed their flight. So they get to the airport, and there are no gate agents, there are no ticket agents at the counter, because at smaller airports, they're called like passenger service representatives, and they do everything at the airport. They're the ticket agent, the check-in agent, they throw the bags, they're gate agents, so they do everything. And so they don't have enough personnel to be at the front to check people in. So there's like a cutoff time, and they miss the cutoff. So they're standing there, and their flight is delayed. They're flying on United Airlines to go back. The flight ended up being delayed for 2 hours. So another airline representative from another airline let them through, and they were able to get to the gate, and they were begging the agents to let them on the flight, and they kept saying, no, you know, you should have been here earlier. And eventually, I think there were like 3 or 4 of them, and there was only one agent left. The other 3 walked away, and she just said, run. And so they ran down the jet bridge, and they ran up to the aircraft, and they were able to get on the flight. And so if they had not, they would have had to pay for another day of the rental car, pay a change fee for their ticket, pay for another night to stay in a hotel. It would have been very, very expensive. And it was all because they had a flat tire out in the middle of nowhere and not knowing how to get it fixed on a vacation. So cheap vacation travel deals are not all what they seem. So on Living Social and Groupon, that is basically what those deals are timeshare presentations. And I mean, I've been through many timeshare presentations myself, and I usually try to get out of them. I pretend I'm sick or whatever, and I take the free night hotel or whatever it is that they're offering. So a lot of people do the timeshare presentations, but isn't it great not to be able to have that pressure and just go on vacation and just relax and not have to worry about dodging someone who's trying to sell you something? So if you're just tuning in to the Skychi Travel Guide, we talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. I was a flight attendant for 7 years at a regional carrier, and now I'm a travel agent. So you can follow us on Facebook at the Skychitravelguide.com and subscribe to our blog, the Skychitravelguide.com. And now we're going to move into flying insider secrets. And if you have any questions about air travel, you can give us a call at 312-754-4333. And so Southwest Airlines has now begun international service into the Caribbean and Mexico. And they just began this in July last week, as a matter of fact. And Southwest bought AirTran Airways. Southwest has been flying the 48 states for several years now, and they are now expanding to 6 countries, from what I understand. And if you're in the Chicago area, they will begin international service from Milwaukee on August 2nd with a fare of $162 from $162 one way from Milwaukee to Cancun. And they will begin service from Chicago Midway November 10th with fares starting from $195 one way. And so if most people think of Chicago only having two airports, which are Chicago O'Hare and Chicago Midway, but Milwaukee is only an hour away, and you can get there by driving. You can get there by Greyhound bus or Amtrak to save money. And so if you're planning a vacation and would like to travel on Southwest Airlines, you can do that during the month of August and not have to wait until November 5th. And besides, the fares are cheaper out of Milwaukee if you're planning to do Cancun. And now we're going to do a video by Enrique Iglesias featuring Gente Zozona. It's called Baleando. And this is one of the top music songs to get you in a mood for a trip to paradise. And it's about dancing. Okay, that was Bailando with Enrique Iglesias. It's one of the top Latin songs featuring Gente de Zona, and it's a song about dancing. It's one of the ways that I get ready for a trip. I get in the mood by listening to music from one of the countries that I will be visiting. And this is a great song if you're planning to visit Cancun, Mexico, or Cabo San Lucas. So look it up on YouTube, Bailando, Bailando, and it means dancing. So if you're just joining us, I'm Skychi Travels with the Skychi Travel Guide Live, and we are talking flight tales, which are travel stories. If you want to call in and share your story, you can do so at 312-754-4343, 4333. And I just shared a story about my daughter going to Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic, and she had booked a living social deal, and she found out that cheap travel deals really aren't so cheap. She ended up paying, they had a flat tire in the rainforest, and she ended up paying $350 for a rental car instead of, like $100 or something. So sometimes you end up paying on the other end. It may look like a good deal, but usually Living Social and Groupons are timeshare presentations. And so now I'd like to invite you to join me at Be Fit Try Wellness Studio for classes to get your body ready for vacation, because you can't go on vacation if you're not in shape. I mean, you could, but you would have a more enjoyable experience if you were in shape. And Be Fit Try Wellness is a great place to do it if you're on the south side of Chicago. They're located at 1836 West 95th Street in the Beverly area. And this Thursday, we will be celebrating, there's a lot of birthdays coming up. July 10th is Ia's birthday. She's the proprietor of Be Fit Try Wellness. You can join us for Zumba Groove at 9 a.m. I love to do Zumba. We may even do Bailando there. You never know. As well as evening classes are also available. You can join the TriFit Wellness Discount Club. The benefits are discounts on fitness classes. We're going to have weekly wellness classes starting at 1 p.m. in August, monthly meetups. Our first meetup is going to be my birthday celebration at Norman's Bistro at 1001 East 43rd Street, Chicago. That's Saturday, August 2nd, 6:30 until. And we will be doing wellness getaways to Cancun, Mexico. So subscribe on my blog to the newsletter, the Skychitravelsguide.com, for more information about the wellness getaways. So we will be traveling as well. So come on out and join the Try Wellness Discount Club. And now we're going to go back to our travel topics. So Southwest Airlines has begun international service to the Caribbean. They're taking over AirTrans routes to the Bahamas, Aruba, and Jamaica. And as of July 1st, they've started flying from Atlanta, Baltimore, Orlando, Boston, and Pittsburgh. And then on August 10th, they're going to add service to Cancun and Cabo San Lucas. November 2nd, they're going to start flying to Mexico City and Punta Cana. So most people only think of Chicago Midway and Chicago O'Hare as alternatives for Chicago area airports. And I invite you to look at flying out of Milwaukee. As I shared earlier, the flights are cheaper. You can fly from Milwaukee to Cancun starting August 2nd for fares from $162 one way, instead of waiting for service to start out of Chicago Midway on November 10th with fares from $195 one way. And Southwest Vacations, I'm sure we'll have some great deals. In the past, American Airlines had on the routes to the Caribbean. They pulled back some and given some to JetBlue, but look for competitive pricing with American and JetBlue as well. So I suggest that you go to Southwest Vacations or southwest.com and to sign up for their deals and have them delivered right into your inbox so that you will not miss the sale fares. They also started a sale fare, I believe it was today. They're offering $69 one-way trips domestically. So the only thing about their new service that they are saying is that there may not be connecting flights between all cities and the international cities, which means that you may have to drive or take a bus or a train to the market, to the city where the international flights depart from. But at those prices, I would definitely say that it is worth it. So save your beach chair, come on down and book by July 17th. You can give me a call if you're interested in a Southwest Vacations, and I will be happy to accommodate you. You can give me a call at 905-515-2995. Now we're going to talk about flying hot topics. So there is this new rule that the TSA has come up with. And it is important now to charge your cell phone before you board your flight from an international destination on your return home. So say, for example, you decide you're going to go to London or even to Mexico. You go to Montego Bay, Cancun, Punta Cana. It is important to have your cell phone charged because the TSA has said that they will be screening passengers and asking them to turn on their cell phones before they board the aircraft to see if they power up. If they don't turn on, the TSA will be taking them away from the passengers. So if you don't want to lose your electronic devices, you should charge them before you go to the airport. There's a concern about Al-Qaeda efforts to produce a bomb that would go undetected through airport security, even though that there's no specific threat to the U.S. Nothing has, there's no alert or anything. But Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson recently ordered the TSA to call for extra security measures at some international airports with direct flights to the United States. So spread the word and let people know before you get to the airport to make sure you have your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet. Everything should be charged up, or the TSA may be keeping it, and you may have to purchase some new electronic equipment on your way home. So if you're just tuning in, this is Skychi Travel Guide. Every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central, we talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics at 1 p.m. Central. If you have questions or comments, you can call at 312-754-4333. So I just want to share another travel story with you. I had recently talked to one of my aunts and uncles about a cruise that they had went on. They went on a cruise, I think it was a Carnival cruise, and they went with another couple. So they allowed the other couple to book the trip for them. And that means that they didn't get any of the information about 311, which is 311 are the toiletries must go in a bag. Any liquids should be 3 ounces or less, and they need to go in a plastic bag, and you can only bring one of each item. So that they didn't have that information. And so my uncle said to me, he said he had seen, you know, at Walmart or Target the little toiletry section, but it never occurred to him that was for airline travel. And so I was, I was really surprised. So when they got to the airport and they were going through security, they had full size, toiletry products, and the TSA threw everything away. And so they were just standing there in shock. And so I just want everybody to know, when you're booking a cruise, that you should go to a travel agent and talk to a travel agent and get all the information from a travel agent. There's a lot of planning that goes behind the scenes to prepare for going on a cruise. You just don't go on a cruise. So I will share more with you about their experience after we come back from our commercial break. If you want to share your travel story, you can give us a call at 312-754-4333, and we'd love to hear your travel tale. Hi, welcome back. This is Skychitravels, Janice Temple, your host for the Skychi Travel Guide. Every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central on UBM Talk. We talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics. I was a flight attendant for 7 years at a regional carrier where I flew across the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas. I'm also a travel agent. So if you're interested in booking one of the Southwest vacations or Southwest Airlines fares, you can contact me at 905-515-2995. I invite you to follow me on Facebook at the Skychi Travel Guide and to subscribe to our blog, theskychitravelguide.com, to learn more about travel experiences. So I'd like to welcome everybody back. I was just talking earlier before the break about another flight tale with some relatives of mine who went on a cruise, Carnival cruise, and they allowed another couple to book the cruise for them, but they did not get any of the I guess, travel advice or information to prepare them for the cruise. So I was just sharing how my uncle said that he went to Walmart many times and Target many times, and he would always see the little small items that they have there, the toiletries. Well, those are travel TSA approved items. So you can get toothpaste, deodorant, razors, shaving cream, uh, oh, all kinds of items for about $1, $2, or $3. Those are items for travel kits. Those are called the 311 items. So it's very important that you go and you stock up on your favorite deodorant. You don't want to get to a tropical paradise and not have your deodorant. So they ended up going through security, and security threw away all of their toiletries. They will even throw away makeup. They throw away perfume. They threw away their water. They didn't know they shouldn't take water. I always travel with water bottles. I don't know if you can see my water bottle. This is one of my water bottles. And they have water fountains now with spigots that are tall enough, and they go by weight, and so you place the water bottle on there, and then it automatically starts to fill your water bottles up. Here's another water bottle that I use too. So I use reusable water bottles. So you take them through security empty, and then when you get on this side, you go to a water fountain and you fill them up. So that's a great tip. Or you can purchase water, but you need more water than what's on the plane. I'm a person, well, as a flight attendant, I dehydrate quite easily, so I have to have my own water. Aircraft normally do not have enough water for all the passengers and all the crew. So it's wise to take your own water, as well as your 311 toiletries. Another thing that they didn't realize about going on the cruise was that they had to book their seating reservations for dining. That is something that you do when you purchase your cruise package. Once you're on the cruise, it's too late to do that. People choose whether or not they want to have an early dining or a late dining. There's also separate charge for drink packages. So if you want to buy liquor, if you want to have unlimited soda, unlimited water, they charge extra for those. And that is something that you have to do before you go on the cruise. So that's why it's important to go to a knowledgeable travel agent and to book your cruise with someone who has been to your destination or traveled on the cruise ship that you're interested in. So they went on the cruise. They didn't have any of that advice, and they were walking around wondering, well, how is it, this person has access to unlimited drinks? How do they get reservations at this restaurant? Well, that is all done in pre-planning. And then they told me on their return, they came back, and it was still cold out. So it was spring. We had a very long winter, so it was spring winterish, and they were out there freezing in their shorts and their sandals. A lot of people do that. They dress for the weather from where they're leaving and not for where they're arriving to, and they ended up having to pay, I believe it was $150 for a limo to take them back home. They took a shuttle. The shuttle came to their house to pick them up at a reasonable price, but the same shuttle would not take them back. So that's another thing. You have to prearrange your transportation before you leave for your vacation. And so they said they paid well for that vacation. So they said they'll be paying it off for a while. They learned some lessons. But if you go to a reputable travel agency, especially if you're going on a cruise, go and get all the pre-planning advice and get all those details taken care of before you go. So that's another example of a flight tale. And so especially with cruising, it is best to do all your pre-planning ahead of time. So if you're just now joining us, this is the Skychitravels Janice Temple with the Skychi Travel Guide every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central on UBM Talk. And we talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics. You can join us every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. And if you have questions or you want to share your travel story, you can give us a call at 312-754-4333. And so earlier I was sharing the story of my daughter going to the Dominican Republic, to Punta Cana, and she's always using Groupon or Living Social, but she said she's done with that now, the cheap travel deals, because they tend to do the timeshare presentations. And so she's decided she wants a authentic, relaxing vacation with the premium liquors, the premium food, and the premium room, and no more for the timeshare foolishness. So that's another lesson that is learned with the cheap travel deals. And basically, in travel, you really get what you pay for. There are no cheap travel deals per se. You pay for it either on the back end with money that you didn't anticipate on spending, or with your time. So, for example, most people, when they're looking for cheap airfares, they'll look for low-cost, low-budget airlines. And the low-cost, low-budget airlines are that way for a reason. The salaries tend to be lower for the employees there. Their on-time schedule might not be as good. It's possible that your flight could be delayed, canceled. You can miss your connecting flight to where you're going. Your baggage could be lost. So it's better to pay a little bit more. Sometimes you want to be middle of the road. So look for not the lowest, but middle of the road, and have a better travel experience. And so when you're traveling internationally and you're booking a connecting flight, it is important to have a 3-hour connection for international flights. I once had a passenger on a plane, and we were arriving into Chicago O'Hare, and she said, excuse me, I have a tight connection. I have an international flight. I only have 40 minutes. I was like, 40 minutes for an international flight? That was like unheard of to me, because international flights are rarely delayed. Those are always on time. The airport operation pushes those out first. Those go on schedule because they have a different passenger contract. Excuse me, they have a different passenger contract. So the international contract provides for compensation of hotels and meals for international passengers. So say, for example, you are traveling from Chicago to London, and then you're connecting in London, and you're going on to Dubai. Well, if something happens to your flight in London, they have to, by law, put you in a hotel and give you meal vouchers. That is what happens when you travel internationally to Europe, Asia, South America. Now, traveling to the Caribbean and Mexico is not considered an international passenger contract. So you would not be compensated with a hotel stay, and you would not be compensated with meals if you're traveling to the Caribbean or to Mexico. So those are just some heads up. So it's very important to have a 3-hour window minimum of connection time. 40 minutes is like a guaranteed misconnect. And with the fare loads being, with the passenger loads being so high during the summer season and the holidays, chances are you could be stuck in the airport for a few days. So if you're just joining us, this is Janice, Skychitravels, your host for the Skychi Travel Guide. Every Travel Tuesday, we talk about flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics. And we were just sharing information about flight tales, one being cheap travel deals are not so cheap, Living Social, and Groupon. You really get what you pay for. Most of the time, those are timeshare presentations, and they happen to also be for hotels or resorts that are under construction. So it is better to either go to the hotel website and book your deal directly there, or call a travel agent, allow them to help you find a fantastic resort to stay in. And then we also talked about cruising and the pre-planning that needs to go into cruising. So if you're planning on going on a cruise, you need to go and sit down with a travel agent that has cruised on the cruise line that you want to go on, and been to those ports of call where you would like to go. So that is very important. They can help. A reputable travel agent can help you get your reservations for your seating, for your specialty restaurants, and also get you the drink packages that you need, so you're not wandering around the ship saying, why are people, enjoying these things, and why can't I have those too? Well, you can. It just comes in pre-planning. So now I want to invite you once again to my birthday party, and it's going to be Saturday, August 2nd at Norman's Bistro at 1001 East 43rd Street, and that's at 6 p.m. until. And you can also join us. We are launching with Be Fit Tri Wellness Studio. We are launching a Tri Wellness Club, and the benefits are that you will have discounts on fitness classes. We're getting fit for our wellness getaways. The first one will be to Cancun, Mexico in 2015. We will be having weekly wellness classes. They start Saturdays in August, I guess August 2nd, my birthday probably, at 1 p.m. And we will have monthly meetups as well. So if you want more information about the wellness getaways, you can subscribe to the email list on the skychitravelguide.com. We also talked earlier about Southwest Airlines having service to the Caribbean. They have purchased AirTran Airways, and so they are going through a merger right now. They have started service to Aruba, Montego Bay, and Nassau as of July 1st. So they have Mexico and the Caribbean on sale. August 10th, they're going to begin service to Cancun and Cabo San Lucas, Los Cabos. November 2nd, they're going to begin service to Mexico City and Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. So if you are traveling from Chicago, I would advise you to sign up for their fare alerts and choose the airports, Chicago Midway, and then you should also choose the Milwaukee Airport as an alternate airport. They will begin service from Milwaukee to Cancun starting August 2nd. Fares from $162 one way. And if you just would like to fly from Chicago Midway, you can wait until November 10th. They'll have fares from $195 one way. So Milwaukee is a great alternate airport to fly from, and you can drive there. You can take the Greyhound bus, Amtrak, or whatever to save money. So you should also sign up for the Rapid Rewards, which is Southwest Airlines frequent flyer program. and they will give you that information. And then we also talked about how the TSA is now instituting that you must have your cell phone charged, your tablet, your laptop charged before you leave an international destination. So if you're returning from London, um, from Guatemala, from Dubai, you need to have your cell phones charged, or the TSA will keep those that do not power up. So they have said, they have issued a statement. The Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson ordered the TSA to call for extra security measures at some international airports with direct flights to the United States. So these are for direct flights to the United States. They are going to be conducting screening abroad. The TSA is not an international agency, but Homeland Security is asking for each country to do this for flights that are coming to the U.S., although there is not the Al-Qaeda has not indicated that there's a specific threat to the U.S. This is just a pre-precaution measure. So Johnson said on NBC's Meet the Press, he declined to speculate whether the new security procedures called for overseas will be required at domestic airports in the future. So let's hope that this does not come to the U.S. I suggest buying extra batteries, USB cards, have something else available to charge your phone so that you don't lose it when you're at the airport, as well as your laptops and your tablets. So it's important to have those charged up. So another flight tale, a travel story that I would like to share with you is well, my daughter recently, another one of my daughters recently went to Puerto Rico, and in Puerto Rico, they have very narrow, winding roads, and it's very hot and humid. And they usually take people to the rainforest there, and there's this waterfall where everyone normally goes. And so there were quite a few people that they happened to meet on their tour that were from the U.S. And so the driver said, "Oh, we're going to go, like swimming in the pool or something." And so these girls, I don't think they were from Chicago, but they were from the U.S., and they thought they meant like a swimming pool, but it was a waterfall. So yeah, they had packed their swimming suits, but you can't really go swimming in a waterfall. You can walk through one. And so they pulled off to the side of the road, and you have to walk back behind some winding rocks to get to the waterfall. And so they just thought it was hilarious that these girls thought that they were going to go. It was a swimming pool that they were going to, but it's a rainforest, so they're natural waters. So every Travel Tuesday, the Skychi Travel Guide Live has flight tales, flying insider secrets, and flying hot topics. So you can join us at 1 p.m. Central. And give us a call if you want to share your travel story, 312-754-4333. And you can also comment on YouTube at the Skychi Travel Guide Live as well. And check out our YouTube videos. I just recently uploaded some more videos on the YouTube channel. Some of the new videos include how to book a connecting flight, how to purchase an airline ticket, and I'm also going to do one on how to read an airline map. So if there's any question of how you would like to book a vacation, any questions that you have, just let me know, and I will try to make a video or answer that either on the air or in the YouTube comments. Oh my goodness. So I just want to share a little bit with you about, I guess, behind the scenes of what it is like to work for an airline. So the cheap travel deals, the airline prices at some airlines are very, very cheap because the airline industries are going through mergers. They're pressing down the salaries of the workers. For example, one of the companies that I recently worked for, they are forcing the pilots to move to mainline, from a regional carrier to mainline to a legacy carrier. And normally you think that that would be a pay increase, that would be an upgrade, a promotion. Well, unfortunately, that is not so. So there were pilots with 20 years experience, and they would be forced to go to the mainline carrier. Say after 20 years, they were making $100,000 a year. Well, they were taking pay cuts of like 80,000. They had to start all over again at 18,000, and to fly as the first officer instead of the captain. So it's really like a downgrade. And that's how the airlines make their money, is through keeping the salaries low for the pilots, the flight attendants, the gate agents. Um, and so I know some passengers, they would come on the plane, and on the regional carriers, the aircrafts are smaller and you can see into the cockpit like when you walk on the plane. You can talk to the pilots, you can, say hi to them and they can hear them. And some passengers would make remarks, and they would make fun of them, saying, oh, they don't make any money, you know. Uh, they would say that to the flight attendants, or like, I hope my child doesn't become a pilot, or I hope my child doesn't become a flight attendant. And so you really have to like not be, I guess I want to call a ugly traveler, like the ugly American, because you want people to help you when you're frustrated or you don't know what to do when you're traveling. But if you're making disparaging remarks, that kind of, I guess, negates it. And so, like, these passengers would come on, the beer drinking type would come on, and they would make remarks about the pilots. Well, the pilots can fly slower. The pilots don't necessarily care if you make your connection. I mean, people should really think about what they say and what they do when they're traveling. There's like travel etiquette. There are things that you should say and you should not say. And so insulting the airline personnel never works very well. That's all I can say. That's a big tip. So as you prepare to go on your trip, definitely be mindful of what you say around people and to people, especially if you want them to help you in a situation. So if you have that, you purchased your ticket and you have a tight connection, that 40-minute connection, and you want to get off the plane sooner, then yeah, maybe you should think about airplane etiquette. That's all I can say. So this is Janice with the Skychi Travel Guide, and we have Flight Tales, Flying Insider Secrets, and Flying Hot Topics every Travel Tuesday at 1 p.m. on UBM Talk Live. I was a flight attendant for 7 years at a regional carrier where I flew across the United States, Canada, and the Bahamas, and now I'm a travel agent. So you can contact me at 905-515-2995, and I will help you plan your vacation to your all-inclusive resort. I have some industry knowledge that will help you get a great deal. And I invite you to follow us on Facebook at the Skychi Travel Guide, and subscribe to our blog, theskychitravelguide.com, to learn more about our travel experiences. And I will be celebrating my birthday August 2nd, so I invite you to come out to Norman's Bistro at 1001 East 43rd Street, Saturday, August 2nd, 6:30 p.m. until. That's if you're in the Chicago area. You are invited to come and join us. And you can also, my favorite pastime is dancing. You can come join us at the Be Fit Try Wellness Studio and join our wellness club, the Try Wellness Club. And the benefits are you will have discount on fitness classes. We'll have weekly wellness classes starting in August every Saturday at 1 p.m., monthly meetups, and wellness getaways. So you can subscribe to the newsletter on my blog for more information about the wellness getaways. Our first one is going to be to Cancun, Mexico in 2015, and we would love to have you come out and join us. And I will be happy to help you book your travels. So give me a call at 905-515-2995. Ciao.